Hey guys, Kamen Rider under review. This time I'll be reviewing the LVUR04 Kamen Rider Genm from Kamen Rider Ex-Aid. This is the fourth entry in the Level Up Rider series, and is Kamen Rider Genm in figure form. So this set includes two things, the figure itself and one accessory. So, let's get started. So, as always, we're going to start off by looking at the level 1 form, which, as I've said before, can only be obtained using the level 1 body from the LVUR01 Ex-Aid set. So here we have Kamen Rider Genm, Action Gamer level 1. And as for that name, while the official English spelling, as seen in the title, is GENM, I'm still going to use the Japanese pronunciation of Genmu just because that official English spelling doesn't really have any good way to say it in English. So, as you can see, this is basically just a darker colored version of Ex-Aid, as seen by the changes to the hair, the face, and the eyes, as well as the chest plate. Now, the eyes are perhaps the most different thing in terms of the physical color differences between Ex-Aid and Genmu, because as you can see, instead of just changing it from orange to red, it's now changed it like that, but also has created these three rings within the eyes instead of just being one solid color running through each. Then you have the chest plate down here, which has changed the outside part from a metallic silver to instead a metallic gunmetal. It still has the two symbols for the modes of Ex-Aid's weapon, since this is kind of the prototype version of Ex-Aid, but the background is now a pink color. And of course it has the same articulation, since the level 1 body is the same for all the riders. The one unfortunate thing is that Genmu is the only rider who can't hold his weapon while in his level 1 form, which is the GACHAAN bug visor as seen here. It's molded in all black, and you can see all of the details to it. Here it is in the beam gun mode. But also, as you can see, it uses a handle like this, where it's meant to slide the fingers into the grip. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a section that is detached, so there's no way to plug it into either of the hands. But, with that being said, next it's time to level up. So, since Genmu is a recolored version of Ex-Aid, obviously the transformation is going to be the same. So, like with Ex-Aid, we're going to start off by removing the chest plate and pushing out the figure from the level 1 body, which is also technically the same with the other riders looked at. Then, unfold the legs and turn them around. Turn forward the arms, push down the level 1 face, and then reattach the chest plate, like so. And here we have Kamen Rider Genm, Action Gamer level 2, where just from a glance we can see how much this guy is a dark version of Ex-Aid. Looking up close, we can see that his color scheme is just about entirely made up of black and metallic purple, though there are two shades. One that's used for his shoulders and collar, that's this much more clear purple color, whereas the secondary one is more of a bluish violet color, as seen on his bands and stripes. But he also has a color scheme that is different from any of the other riders, because whereas for the other riders, for stuff like the harness and shoulder and knee pads, or rather forearm shin guards, they all use metallic silver. For Genmu, all of that is replaced with this metallic gunmetal color. Unfortunately, that does cause it to blend in a little bit more, And just for contrast, here's Genmu next to Ex-Aid, and you can definitely see how much more Ex-Aid pops, where his colors really stand out a lot more. Whereas with Genmu, because all his colors are so dark, it's a little bit hard to make out some of the details. But he's still got the same articulation as always, which is a ball jointed head, arms that rotate 360 degrees, in and out, heel jointed elbows, bicep swivel, wrist swivel, 2 finger joints, waist swivel, legs go forward and back, in and out, double jointed knees thanks to this transformation, thigh swivel, and ball jointed ankles. Of course, what does differ from Ex-Aid is his weaponry, which of course, like shown before, comes in the form of the GACHAAN bug visor. And so that's simply equipped to him by placing the handle through his hand, or through his fingers, then closing down the grip on it. Now, similarly to Kamen Rider Brave, there's only one version of this included, and that's because the version included can be switched between the 2 modes. As you can see, the main bike can be attached from the handle, then you can take it and switch it around, like so, to turn it into the chainsaw mode. Although this does cause the chainsaw blade to be extended at all times, which is not entirely accurate, but at the very least does make it quite proportional. And then, like always, once you equip him how you'd like, you can pose him in whatever way suits you best. And there we go! So overall there's not much to say about Kamen Rider Genmu that hasn't been said about Kamen Rider Ex-Aid, since they are basically the same figure, just in different colors and with a difference in accessories. And it is pretty weird to have a dark recolored version of the main rider as part of the core cast of riders this early on in the show, as typically they're more reserved for late game or in movies. But there is something to Kamen Rider Genmu that does make him quite different, as not only does he repaint Ex-Aid's main color scheme, but he also has a color scheme that is quite a bit different from all of the other riders as well. So it definitely does stand out. Unfortunately, it's not quite in a good way, as, like I said, because all of his colors are so dark, some of the details just kind of blend in, and I personally do prefer Ex-Aid to Genmu, just because of that brighter color scheme. But if you do like this rider, then it is still a good figure that can transform between the level 1 and level 2 forms if you have the level 1 buy, and will be able to equip his level 3 form later on down the line. So if you're a fan of this rider and you want a figure of him that can change between those different forms, then of course I can recommend picking this up. Next time I'll be doing the Gekito's Robots GACHAAN. So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and or comment, such as who is your favorite rider in the series so far. And subscribe to keep up with my latest videos. And for now, this is KRX50, riding off.